Coming to you live from the RMIT studios in the heart of Melbourne, the city that respects the Anzacs for their spirit and, of course, their delicious biscuits. It's StudioA with Dave Thornton. On tonight's show, acclaimed comedian Tony Martin, musician Dan Sultan, comedy from Nick Cody, music from Oh Mercy, and of course regular Jess Harris. But please put your hands together for your host this evening, Mr. Dave Thornton.
Very nicely done, very nicely done. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Guys, thanks for that. Welcome down here to StudioA and everyone out there in analog TV land. Thanks for joining us here for the live show, as we do every Monday here at 8:30. Now, just initially, want to talk off the top. This is not a fashion edition that I've got on me at this point in time. I, unfortunately, last Thursday, did an injury on myself. I rolled my ankle, unfortunately. I played basketball, and it was a bit of a horrific injury. It's hard to explain, guys. Basically, I took off from the foul line, and then I went to dunk it and I overshot it. My ankle just clipped the backboard, and it wasn't easy, to be honest with you. But these things happen. But the funny thing is, I need this cane. I need it just to walk around, just to take the pressure off my foot, off my ankle. And I had the comedy festival, the Melbourne International Comedy Festival, finished last week. And it was on Thursday that I actually did my ankle. And that night, I was walking in there thinking, I've got to mention something. I've got to mention it, or the audience won't know why I've actually got this thing on me. What am I going to say? What am I going to say? And I got an elevator up to the level where my show is, where the room is. And the elevator door opened. I'm thinking, what joke am I going to use? What am I going to have? The door opened. This girl just looked at me and went, oh, cool. House. So I don't know if there's going to be some copyright issues with this or what, but if there is, Channel 31 obviously has deep pockets, so see how we go with that one, Channel 10. But the great thing is, because I've kind of had this injury, I've just had time to myself, and I've been on YouTube. I just cannot get enough of watching things on YouTube. And I saw this really, really cool article. You guys can look it up. It was an old interview from the 1980s. It was between this rugby union test captain right from New Zealand and this BBC reporter. It was very funny because the thing is, it seemed like a very serious interview. It looks like a post-match interview. And as we all know, rugby union test captains in New Zealand, they're like revered. You know what I mean? They're like godlike status. And this BBC reporter from behind the camera asked him, so which do you prefer, grass or AstroTurf? And this guy just paused for a second and goes, dunno. Never smoked AstroTurf, eh? It's freaking brilliant. Guys, while we're actually on the subject of New Zealanders, one of our first guests will be coming on tonight. He's born in New Zealand, Tony Martin. You guys remember him from Get This on Triple M? He's going to be in. I know. That's possibly the best reaction we've ever had from a guest. We've had politicians on, we've had the Premier on, and people have still gone, could have done better. But so Tony Martin's in the green room at this point in time, just going, bring it. But so he's going to be on. Dan Sultan, musician and actor, he's going to be on as well. Nick Cody's going to be doing some stand-up comedy. We've also got regular, obviously, Jess Harris, and we're going to finish the night with music from Oh Mercy. But as we do every evening here at StudioA, why don't you put your hands together and give a massive round of applause to the StudioA band. As many of you know, obviously fans of StudioA, people who have just flicked over possibly from Underbelly, you know that this show, we're pretty techno-savvy down here at StudioA.
Sorry.
Regardless, look, it seems StudioA has finally plunged itself feet first into the 21st century. We are actually now on Twitter. Woo! That's impressed one person. I don't know if you guys actually know what Twitter is. I suppose this will be a little bit of a segment to introduce all of you guys and all the people out there watching just about what Twitter is and the new phenomenon that it is. So here it is, the new segment, Twits and Pieces. This is a guide to Twittering, guys. Yeah. Now, for all you guys that possibly looked a little bit quizzical at me before, you see, Twittering, it's hard to explain, okay? The best possible way we could do is probably, we'll get StudioA's very own voiceover man, Oliver Clark. He can give us a little bit of a lowdown. Oliver?
Thanks so much, Dave. I tell you what, for those of you at home who are unaware of the new phenomenon, the new phenomenon, the new craze, obviously, that is Twitter. It's basically it's an internet service, where people tell people what they're up to, what they're doing, instead of having to talk to those pesky people, they can just put it on the web. It's a lot easier, I guess. And obviously, once the message is sent, then that goes out to the network of friends or followers, as the case may be. And I guess here I'll show you what I'm typing on my iPhone at Twitter at the moment. Let's have a look-see. Let's see, Oliver Clark was playing his guitar and broke his G-string. What was I doing wearing girls' underwear anyway?
Yep. But also, the great thing is, for anyone that enjoys Twitter or knows what Twitter is, you can actually follow celebrities, which is great. Like here, I've got my little Twitter page up here and I can check out what some people are doing. This one here, we've got Madonna. You can follow her. She's shopping in Malawi. And she can't decide between a blue Gucci wallet or a 2-year-old brown boy. But didn't realise in rehearsal that was kind of racist. But we've also got, here's another one. We've got the Octo Mum. You guys might remember her, the American Octo Mum, Nadja Salema. She actually just saw an episode of The Brady Bunch and thought, amateurs. But also here, celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay. He's here. He's just said, why don't you guys just put... and then you put a little basil in, and then... Yeah, that's basically it. Bon appetit. First techno screw up for the night. Good work, boys. Also got Britney Spears. She's going to be down here as well. She's twittering from her car. Just totally remembered she still has her kids. Oh, lol. I hope they're on the roof where I left it. But, and lastly, the wonderful Brad Pitt. He's here on Twitter. I'll just scroll down. Oh, there he is. Oh, there we go, Brad Pitt. He says, sure, I'm hooked up with a chick with 6 kids from 4 different fathers, but tell me you wouldn't like to make number 7. So, there we go. So there you have it, guys. That's Twitter. It's just another way, basically, for technology to make stalking a little bit easier. Isn't that right, Oliver?
Tell you what, this Botox is really making me a little irritable. Back to you, Dave.
So there it was, ladies and gentlemen. Hopefully that helped you out. That was StudioA's Twits and Pieces. What a phenomenon. It's time for the break, but we'll be right back with obviously the wonderful talent Tony Martin and our regular Jess Harris. Don't go away, you're watching StudioA. Welcome back. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is about that time that we welcome back to the show someone who always knows where it's at, what it's been doing, and what it had for lunch. It's our savvy soothsayer of social settings, our saucy seductress of scoops and scandals. Please welcome to StudioA desk, Ms. Jess Harris.
Quite a mouthful.
It was a mouthful.
Lots of S's.
That's going to give me a speech impediment if I keep up those kind of introductions.
I don't want to be that much trouble. I don't deserve that much of an intro.
That much of an intro. I'll stay up all night for that, all right? So
you nailed it.
I think. Oh, thanks for that.
No worries.
I think it came off. That's fantastic. Here we are again. You're going to tell us what's happening in the week ahead?
I am.
Make all the predictions so people feel a little bit safer about the oncoming 7 days.
Yeah.
So here we go, guys. Put your hands together and welcome Jess Harris with the week ahead.
Okay, so some things in life are really unpredictable, but not to me. I am here to forecast your coming week. From tips to warnings, news to gossip, you'll be fully equipped for the week ahead. So looking ahead now from Monday to Sunday, the 3rd of May, which is Australia's big night of nights, the Logies. Some of my Logies predictions are Natalie Bassingthwaighte will make a slightly arrogant but very glamorous arrival in a helicopter. But high winds will cause the copter to make an emergency landing at Essendon Airport. She'll have to catch a 20-minute cab back, missing the red carpet and the Logies. Not so glamorous after all. When accepting the gold Logie, Andrew Denton will accidentally kiss Gretel Colleen on the lips, both turning red with embarrassment. Several awkward jokes will follow. Katrina Roundtree will wear a forgettable gown, while Georgie Parker will embarrass herself by wearing nothing but a pearl thong at the after party. Truly unforgettable, I'm sure. And towards the end of the night, Grant Denyer will have a minor fall down some stairs in the gaming area of Crown. No one will really see it, but now that you know about it, keep your eyes peeled. It will be quite funny in an awkward, sad kind of way. And from the Logies to Hollywood gossip, private footage of Meryl Streep doing the YMCA at a friend's 40th will surface on the internet. Not really getting much attention though, as it's poor quality and it's quite boring, but it's up to you to decide. It's there if you want it. My warning for next week, might want to reschedule picnics and lunches and jogging in the tan on Wednesday, as a flock of doves will be found crying in the botanical gardens. And the sound will be unbearable, so avoid the park. In health, if you have an upset stomach next week, it's because of the planets realigning. It's going to be setting everyone a little bit off tilt. Or it could be from bad pork or that you're pregnant. But you might want to get that checked out. This week's handy tip, if you're playing Cluedo, it's 80% Colonel Mustard in the study with a revolver. Trust me on that one. And next week, quickly in numbers, $10,000 worth of scratchies will be bought with a total of $12 in prize money being handed out for the whole week. 67 sleazy bosses will get punched square in the face, with 3 more just getting clipped under the chin. And finishing off, as we always do, with my emotional forecast for the coming week. There looks to be an immature sun shower coming in over on Wednesday. It's going to cause everyone in its path to act like children. You'll crave sugar, cry if you don't get it, laugh at fart jokes and find endless humour in a cardboard box. For me, that's just a normal weekend, but for some people, it might throw you off a little bit. But now you know what is in store. Enjoy the week ahead. There's a lot to take in.
There's a lot to take in, isn't it?
It all just comes to me and I have to get it out.
And you have to get it out. I know. Are you looking forward to the Logies?
Oh, well, now I am. I want to see Grant Denyer tumble down the stairs. No, the Logies are always good to have a look at.
I know. I love to see what kind of, B-grade American celebrity we get across.
To make us feel okay about ourselves.
Yeah. This is the youngest son of Growing Pains. Who? He's
got an accent.
That's why we love him to come down.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, give Jess another round of applause,
Thank you.
guys. Good work. All right. Our first guest on tonight is well known for his comedic work on radio, television, film. He's written books. He's pretty much, if it's comedy, he's done it. Please welcome the very talented Tony Martin.
How you doing?
Take a seat on Grimace. Oh, that was complimentary.
How's the desk looking?
You were impressed with the desk when you first came in?
It looks a lot better on TV than it... And if you have a look down the front here, what's going on here? It's taken a bit of a hit from a rival program at some point.
Other chat shows really want to cut us down.
Yeah, I can see.
We must be rife competition.
Are you up for any of the Logies? Is this network eligible for any Logies? The Bazura Project tried to get nominated for a Logies.
Yeah, and they didn't.
Someone just booed? Booing the Bazura Project?
Yeah, they're a fickle audience, to be honest with you. yeah, they didn't get on, did they, to the Logies, the Bazura project? They should have.
What was the excuse? There was just that we don't accept Channel 31 as being a proper television network.
I think I don't know what the board of Logies, I don't know what that even looked like, but I think they reacted like the general public when someone said Channel 31. They went, what? So,
well, I know the only person I know who gets invited to the Logies is Pete Smith. Would you know who? Yeah, it's whooping for the man who used to say sale of the century. And he's been around so long, and I don't even know if he's even on TV anymore. But every year he just gets moved further and further towards the back of the auditorium, to the point where last year, this is true, he was in a corridor with the door open, and the table he was on was actually in the corridor, and everyone had to sort of lean just to see what was going on. He saw part of Grand Denier at one point.
But that was it.
That was it.
Have you ever been?
No, we actually were nominated in 1994. You might remember that was
The Late Show.
That was back in Hammer time. That was an earlier period of history. And we
did he come through with any gongs by any chance at the Logies?
Well, we didn't think we were going to win, so we sent Pete Smith along to just accept all of our awards for us. And then we did actually win. Yeah. And it was, I remember the year we were in, we were up against Hey Hey It's Saturday, and I knew we were going to win when I saw the clip package that Hey Hey It's Saturday had chosen to send in. Because normally you have a lot of funny moments from your show. But all they had was a speeded up montage of a whole lot of stuff with na 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 na, and there was just no moment that they could isolate for even a second where somebody had said something that they would consider good enough to be on the Logie. So I'm going, I think the other show has a sped up montage we could be in. And then we won, and Pete Smith got up and he said, I think he picked up the Logie and said, dude looks like a Logie. It was got the biggest laugh of the night. And then the people at the TV Week were furious that we'd send Pete Smith along. And they said, look, people don't want to see Pete Smith. They want to see those young people who we don't actually know who their names are. And so there was all this trouble. And they said, they sent us a letter, I think, saying that we will never be nominated for anything ever again. And then the very next year, some of the people on the show did a show called Frontline, and that, I think, ended up winning everything. But they didn't send Pete along. I don't know why Pete is being so badly treated by the TV Week bigwigs.
But it's
need to have a look at themselves.
It's such a great head-to-head though. Hey Hey and you guys. It's like Sherdy the slightly aggressive bear against Pluck a Duck. Head first.
It's a line ball.
Now, what are you doing now? Because you were obviously Get This. You were doing that on Triple M.
Yeah, some trouble. You might have heard about that.
and then there was that, and then now you're writing.
Then disappeared into obscurity. No, I've written another book, because I did a book about 4 years ago, which I was amused to see on your script.
Yep.
If you can have a look.
Yeah.
The intro. I thought I'd have a look at what your intro for me is going to be.
Initially they said, we'll intro him with the...
And it says he's just written a hilarious new book called Lolly Scramble, which actually came out 4 years ago.
Yeah.
And I thought I could correct that. I thought I don't want to embarrass Dave, and I thought I'll correct it before we go on. And I thought it's still technically a plug for the book, so I'll just let him make it and blunder on.
Well, enough rope. They have their researchers. We just find a couple of drunk uni students up in the cafe, and we just go, we'll give you some Chico rolls. Can you just write an intro? So,
why do they have... I've always wondered about Enough Rope. It always has writers at the end. What do the writers do on Enough Rope?
That's what I'd love to...
Can you explain? Because there's two of them. That's what I...
Andrew sits down and talks. Well, I'm going for coffee.
Surely that must be the easiest job on television.
That is exactly right. Now, what is the new book going to be called?
It's called A Nest of Occasionals, which the publishers are unhappy with because they don't know what it means. But I think older people, there must be some older, there's an older gentleman over there.
Occasional tables?
Occasional tables. It was back in maybe the late 70s, early 80s, you couldn't open a newspaper without seeing an ad for A Nest of Occasional Tables, which was a series of increasingly smaller coffee tables. They're often up to 17 or 18 of them. Why you would need so many coffee tables has never been established, but there was so many of them, and they went down to a tiny coffee table. Like literally this, you know what I'm talking about, madam. It's just goes this big. It's going to about 17 coffee tables.
Just goes down to a drink coaster.
Yeah. And there'd always be ads for a nest of occasional tables, $79.95.
Wow.
And it was a thing. You couldn't go anywhere in the early 80s without hearing people talking about a nest of occasional tables, I assure you.
Sounds like the Russian dolls of furniture.
That's what it was like.
Yeah.
And I wrote an ad for them for a radio station, and it was in the era of FM radio had just started. And up until then, all ads sounded like, JB, you've done it again. There were just so many words that you had to fit in. And when FM radio started, suddenly it had to be as though all the ads had been written by the Eagles. All the ads with very sort of smooth, easy sort of yacht rock playing in the background.
Yacht rock.
So we had to lose words in order to do a 30-second ad. So I changed a nest of occasional tables to just a nest of occasionals, and there was just a huge uproar. I was fired from this account. It was the client was calling up going, it's a nest of nothing. People don't know, you haven't got the word tables in there. And so there was a lot of trouble. And then I thought, years later, a phrase that had been the cause of so much trouble and had slightly got me sacked, I thought now it can be useful 20 years later as the name of a book.
And you got the final laugh.
So,
when's it going to be on shelves, do you think?
It's in October. I've got it. The publishers want me to put more young, sullen, moody vampires into it. If I can do that, then it'll be. And then it gets stapled and then it's out.
And a game of Quidditch. That's going to work.
way.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for dropping down, mate. We'll be right back after the break with music from Dan Sultan. See you in a sec. Welcome back. I was just on my little Twitter again. We got this one's from Andrew Bolt, actually. It says, I was crossing the road and got sideswiped by a car because I refused to acknowledge anything coming from the left. So, political. And now some words from our very own StudioA sponsors. Oliver?
Thanks, Dave. Tonight's episode of StudioA is brought to you by Morals. The later the night, the less you need them. And of course, cocksucking cowboys, as if cowboys weren't gay enough. And lint brushes, for when you want to keep your lint well groomed. Back to you, Dave.
Thanks, Oliver. Our next guest is a musician who has earned rave reviews off the back of his debut album, Homemade Biscuits. He's played all over Australia, and we're fortunate enough to have him in here tonight. Please, guys, make him very welcome. Dan Sultan. Thank you. Take a seat. Thanks for coming in.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you've been touring around a lot with that album, haven't you, the last 2 years?
Yeah, well, the thing is we recorded it and we haven't got around to recording a new one yet, so we had to keep touring it, you know. We had to keep playing it, you know. Yeah. We couldn't... I just say, coming on after Tony as well, I feel a slight bit of pressure as well. I don't want anyone to expect any laughs or... No, I didn't mean that to be. That wasn't a joke.
I'll give him a round of applause, guys. He'll be great. He's going to be great. The thing is, too, I know you're obviously a musician, and hopefully we can get you to play a song later on. But you're also an actor as well.
Oh, I don't know if I'm an actor, but I've acted. I don't know if I'm an actor so much. I was working with a lot of people, a lot of really great performers, and I saw what an actor was, you know, close up. So I don't think I'm an actor. You know? But I was. It was a part of a film called Brand New Day, which is coming out this year, and there is Jeffrey Rush is in it, and Jess Malboy, who's going great guns at the moment, and Missy Higgins, and Ernie Dingo, and Tom Budge, and me.
The movie's called Brand New Day, and it's set in Broome. Is that right?
Broome and Perth.
Broome and Perth.
It's set in the 60s, 1967.
Oh right.
Yeah.
And it was a musical. It was a stage show.
Yeah, well, it was a stage show, and it is a musical, and there's all these really beautiful songs written. A man called Jimmy Chai wrote it, and he had a great band some time ago in the 70s and 80s called Cuckles.
Yeah. And
it's just beautiful songs, love songs, and funny songs, and you know, and just it was a great experience. You know, I was really weighing it up, but there was a few things I had to miss out on to do it, but I'm glad I did, you know.
Yeah, it would have been great. Did you try and, with all that music that was in it, did you just drop down to the producers, like Wagon or something, and go, "You need songs, do you?"
Well, that's the thing with Uncle Jimmy Chai and Cuckles and those music is just, there's no need to. I kind of had ideas, but again, you're not going to push it too much and you're not going to try and, they're just really... It's a beautiful story. It's about a young boy who... it's about coming of age and he runs away from boarding school and his girlfriend's back home and it's all...
Yeah.
It's a big adventure. Yeah, big adventure.
What's your part?
I'm the bad boy.
Are you?
Yeah. It was a lot of fun.
Did you do any method acting for that then? Just go around stealing like old women's purses and stuff like that? It's for the role, it's for the role.
Yeah, so... No, well, I can't remember doing any method. I'm sure I did do some, but I can't remember it. But...
Did you enjoy it though? The experience was good?
Oh, it was wonderful, and like I say, like just to see like a process like that, a filmmaking process. There's over 1,000 people on set and there's labourers and riggers and lighting people and, makeup and hair people and there's like this cook. We had this amazing cook in Broome. Everyone can cook. Yeah. Everyone can fish and everyone can cook. Right? Yeah. And they're proud of their batter, or their chilli. They're like, "Oh, you like chilli? Oh, wait, you taste my chilli." They'll run home and get it, I'll run home and get it for it. It actually happened to me. We were eating this pearl meat, beautiful seafood, and this pearl meat, and they asked us if we like chilli, and this woman had literally ran home a few doors down and grabbed her chilli. Really? That she'd made up. Yeah. And it was beautiful. Yeah. Everyone can cook and everyone can fish.
Well, if she's watching, you can come down now to come and check it out. Now, mate, you do have a new album.
Just about, yeah.
Just about to come out. And we're hoping... What's the album going to be called?
Not sure yet.
Yeah? A collection of occasional seems to be
that's right. We've got to get it out quick, though,
That's it. And we're hoping... Do you want to play a song tonight from the new album?
Yeah, I'd love to.
What's the song you're going to play?
Well, this is a song called Wedding Rings, and it's a song written by a gentleman named Scott Wilson, and he's a guitar player in my band, and we've been writing songs together for a while now, and he's been a real great influence on me as a songwriter and as an artist and performer, and I'm very lucky to be able to sing some of his songs, and this is one of them, and it's about a couple trying to escape their situation by, illegally by paying a people smuggler, and so they sell their wedding rings and they can only afford one ticket,
Oh, wow.
So he sends his wife, and it's very sad, and I think it provides a different perspective on asylum seekers and boat people and what these people have gone through.
Yeah.
We hear about their story once they're off the coast of Broome or something, or but they've gone through a lot more before that. And I think it's an important story.
Yeah. Oh, well, we've got it all set up just over there if you want to mosey on down. Give them a round of applause, guys. Cut across. What's the song called?
Wedding Rings.
Cool. Here we go, Dan Sultan, he's just got his guitar, he's setting it all up there. We've kicked Oliver out of the space. So he's all prepared to perform, guys. This will be off his new album. It's called Wedding Rings, this one. We've got it all set up there. That should be all right?
Yeah.
Everything's fine?
Should be fine.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. We hardly ever have technical difficulties. So here it is, Wedding Rings, guys, with Dan Sultan.
Get out while you can. It's not too late to start again. You know what you have known. Nothing here can ever grow. Wedding rings are broken wings. You won't need these things you'll find. Sail on, my love, and place behind. Leave before the tide. Let the moonlight be your guide. I want for nothing more than for you to find a better shore. Wedding rings are broken wings. You won't need these things, you'll find. Sail on, my love, and leave this place behind. Get out while you can. It's not too late to start again. You know what you have known, and nothing here can ever grow. Wedding rings are broken wings. You won't need these things, you'll find. Sail on, my love, and leave this place behind. Sail on, my love, and leave this place behind. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Dan. That was great. If Dan will be touring around, if you want to catch any of his gigs, there's a website, www.dansultan.com. But the Evelyn Hotel, actually on the 30th of April, there, and going down to Deans Marsh, and then on to New South Wales after that. So if you want to go check it out, go to his website. Guys, don't go anywhere, because we'll be right back after the break with comedy from Nick Cody. See you soon. It was just one last twit. I was just looking at this. This one's from Susan Boyle. If you remember, the woman off Britain's Got Talent. Said, enough with the publicity. I can sing and I'm ugly, I get it. So that's enough of that. But, now, guys, everyone down here at StudioA, give a round of applause and welcome back here to the desk, Tony Martin. Back by popular demand.
Yeah, Dave, I'm not sure if I'm supposed to mention this, but I understand I'm filling in for Robert Doyle, the Mayor of Melbourne.
Yeah. That's right.
So,
no, that's true. That is exactly true. Robert Doyle
was supposed to be on.
Was supposed to be here, and you can feel the disappointment in the room.
So as I'm filling in, I should say something quite foolish.
Yeah.
Or make some really tough statement about something that I have no power or authority to back up with action whatsoever. That's what I should do.
Very apt fill-in.
Okay.
Your name should be chiselled down at Melbourne Town Hall. That is great. Now, we were initially going to do this with Robert, but now you're here.
Yes.
Now, did you hear about this policy that he wanted to introduce in nightclubs in the CBD?
Right.
Did you hear about this?
Is this the red card business? Or?
Yeah, the actual, supposedly, now security, this is what he wants to instigate, have a card system, much like a soccer umpire. Right. On a field, where if someone does a little misdemeanour, it's a yellow card. They get presented with a yellow card.
And is this by Robert Doyle himself? He's assessing all of the footage. It would be an exhausting schedule, I would have thought, for him to...
He's the hardest working man down there at Melbourne Town Hall. But and he'll be there, and an all red card, and that sends people out.
Right.
And what we've actually got here is...
here we go.
We've got the cards.
Crikey.
Look at that. That's Bunnings duct tape.
Yes.
Expense hasn't been spared. But what we do is we give that to you. We've got a couple of scenarios.
Right. Yep.
That some of our well-equipped performers
So these
will be playing
this
out.
is actual violence happening on the street now, or a reenactment?
Yeah, we've got a couple of our guys that get blind drunk and then
Okay.
just cause some trouble down on King Street. But now, in case if you're not sure what's, if you're not sure how to adjudicate it, you're not sure whether you're going to give them the yellow, the red, or the thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Right. Yep.
We also have a third umpire here, Oliver Clark. So,
Okay.
Oliver.
Yeah, thank you. Strike. You're out.
We're in safe hands.
We are in safe hands. Now, see, without further ado, this is scenario one. What would you want after you saw this at a nightclub? What would you do?
Taxi!
That's a red card, I think. I don't think there can be any disputing that. From the moment the robot dancing began, I think people were mentally reaching for their red card.
Pretty much. Oliver, what did you think about that?
I think he was definitely double dribbling there. That's a 6-pointer.
Do you ever watched any sport?
Of course he has.
He's like Pete Smith's understudy. That's what's great about him.
Well, maybe John Deeks' understudy. I don't know.
We're sending him to the Logies for us.
Bang. Wearing that, I'm hoping. How many? There's like 6 different shades of blue in your clothing. There literally are. You can amuse yourself out there by counting them off.
Keen eye.
Now, this is the second scenario. Let's have a look at this, Tony.
Hey, I'll have 5 cougars, thanks. Yes.
Sorry. That's simply unacceptable.
Just for red card, just for the performance alone.
I think the reference to cougars. Unless he means, of course, MILFs. In which case, possibly just a yellow card.
This one. Oliver, what did you think of that?
Well, I'd certainly like to give that young lady my card. My business card. For the Oliver Clark personal hotline, 24/7.
He will be sleeping with both of the Veronicas at the Logies. I know he will.
Yeah, this has turned into like a late night infomercial, hasn't it, basically? And this is the last scenario. Let's have a look at this one. Let's see if there's a red or yellow card.
What, Rip? I didn't touch him.
I might give that the thumbs up because I know nothing about sport, but I'm sure Oliver would be able to confirm that, but he's no longer available due to a tragic off-camera accident.
We run a tight ship here. What can we say, Tony? Don't you worry about that. Guys, thank you so much.
All
Tony
right.
Martin,
Cheers.
thanks very
Thanks
much.
for having me. Thank you.
From those pearls of comedy to another, we were introduced this week's stand-up comedian. He is a national finalist in the Green Faces competition, and he's just finished, I think it was last night, his Melbourne International Comedy Festival debut. Guys, please put your hands together for the very funny Nick Cody.
Thank you. I've had a rough day, guys. I just found out today I can't have kids, and there's nothing wrong with my nuts. It's just I've got red facial hair, and that's something that should never be passed down to an unsuspecting child. And I'm a bit... I don't think I'd be a good parent. I'm a bit inappropriate sometimes. But you see those people... There was a story in the US last month where there was a couple. The wife was on the pill. The husband was wearing a condom. They had sex. Wife still gets pregnant. So instead of sitting down and trying to figure out the logical things to do, they go ahead, they sue the pill-making company, they sue the condom-making company, and they're going to abort the child. And I think we all know that's the wrong thing to do because they're about to get rid of the strongest human being ever. He's already had 2 attempts on his life. What's that, a condom? Smash! He ate the pill like Pac-Man. You don't get rid of that kid. He's going to be born 8 months premature, just flexing his biceps, eating steak. He probably wouldn't even be born the natural way. There'd be some sort of lightning storm and you'd just find him huddled nude in a car park like Terminator. You just keep that kid. The other reason I can't have a kid is what happens if I just raise a cockhead? What happens if I raise a kid that does a Kentucky tour? I don't want to be responsible for that. I've had a mate that just got back. I hadn't seen him in ages. He said, hey, Nick, guess what I just did, mate? I just did Europe. I did 26 countries. I smashed it. I did Europe. I did it. I'm like, that's amazing, dude. No wonder I haven't seen you in a while. You must have been gone for like 12, 18 months. Nah, mate, 4 days. He said, Nick, I was in Paris for 12 minutes. It was pretty full on, mate. And just so you know, it's croissant, not croissant. That's what I learnt from the natives. What a douchebag. I hate that guy. And that's the problem. It's only people that have done a Kentucky tour that will say that they did a country. Like they just tore that shit up. Like the people in Italy will never forget the time that my mate was there. Hey, remember the time that guy got off the bus and he walked into the paddock and he put his hands like this and his friend took a photo and it looked like he was holding up the Leaning Tower of Pisa. He sure did us. No, he didn't. Attila the Hun did countries. The Roman Empire did countries. He did a fat English girl. That's not the same. Anyway, guys, I'm Nick Cody. Thanks very much.
Great, mate. Great. Stick around right after the break because we've got music from Oh Mercy. See you soon. Work with you, Junior.
I think I call you on the telephone and tell you all the things that I've been missing.
Welcome back here to Studio A. Guys, if there's anyone out there watching in TV land and you're sitting there thinking, I really want to go in and see the show where the floor manager is a 22-year-old student who, after about an hour of stressing out about the show, looks like he's now about 65. So it's worthwhile coming down to check it out. If you want to be part of the show like these guys have tonight, just email us here at StudioA@RMITV.org and you can catch all the nudie runs we do every commercial break. So come down and check it out. But welcome back to the desk here, guys. Our two guests, Tony Martin again and Dan Sultan. I think we're just forcing you into this. You're probably going to be hosting this next week.
Everyone gets to move up. You'll be doing it.
A couple of weeks. Yeah. Now, Dan, we're talking to you about your movie that it's about to be released. I believe it's soon, isn't it?
This year sometime, I'm pretty sure. I'm not sure how much I can or can't say about it, but I know that it's this year sometime.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you know?
I don't know. Like I don't know. There's all secrecy around it. You know what I mean? About
That's just a standard promotional schedule for an Australian film. Commonly known as secrecy.
Yeah, don't tell anyone.
Because you wrote, direct, and produced a film. Bad Eggs.
Yes, tends to divide audiences, but it's done bizarrely quite well in Germany, where it's where it's known as mit vollem Einsatz, which means with extreme force. And it's got really good reviews, so I'm kind of like the David Hasselhoff of comedy, really. It's bizarre.
Oh, no, yeah, that would have been great if you'd made it maybe 20 years ago. They could have been playing that movie on the wall as they were pulling it down. It would have been great between East and West.
What a wonderful thought.
How did you write, direct and produce it?
Well, there was an opportunity to get some funding because no taxpayers' money was used in the film. It was all through private funding, and it was if you can write like a genre film, like a cop movie, and that's what we did. So it wasn't like a deliberate attempt to write a cop movie. It was just if you can write one, we can give you the money to do it. So I just thought, well, let's have a cop movie where you just have. Who are the two least active people I can think of to be in a very serious, suspenseful thriller situation? So,
And you found...
The Mick Malloy and Bob Franklin. I don't think they even move at all in the film. They mostly just stand still for the entire film.
But, Dan, how did you go? You said with the acting. I've done a bit of acting.
Actually, I saw you in Bed of Roses.
Oh, stop it. Please stop it.
Or was it East of Everything?
It was, no.
It was one of those ones that's kind of like Sea Change. It was one of them.
Yeah, no, it was a Bed of Roses. I played this footballer and I had to have, like, the fake tan and dye my hair pitch blonde. Which is one of those, I did that thing because I'm not an actor, and I went, I'll do method, I'll change myself, it'll be good. And then I just got the hair done, I've gone, oh, my life is over.
Were you in the last episode of Bed of Roses?
No, I got into the fourth one, I think, and they did to me what they do to any character in Home and Away. I was in trouble, and then I fixed myself off, and then they sent me to Perth. And
off to Perth. I think we're getting the wind up.
I think we are, but this floor manager, he's getting worse and worse. He's more militant as the night is going on. Guys, thank you so much again for just dropping down.
Thanks, Dave.
Dan, Tony, thanks so much. Also, give a round of applause to Nick Tony, of course, Jess Harris. Now, guys, we have a band on tonight. Here we are. That's the In the Nude for Love. Ooh, oh mercy! Here we are. They're going to be playing. They're going to be playing with End of Fashion and the Kaiser Chiefs this May. They'll be on the road with Little Birdie touring all around Australia. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give it up for Oh Mercy with the single "Seemed Like a Good Idea."
the time. It seems like a good idea at the time. I swear I didn't realize at the time. It seemed like a good idea.
That's great. Thank you. That was I Mercy with Seemed Like a Good Idea. That's the camera I'm on. They'll be releasing their new EP, In the Nude for Love, on May 22nd, and you can pre-order it on their MySpace music page. So we're going on a bit of a holiday, so there'll be no live shows for the next 2 weeks. And no, I love it here. I just want time off. But no, but before you go off crying, guys, we'll still be screening some of the classic Studio A moments, because dag nabbit, there's been a lot. And so do tune in on Monday nights. Thanks for watching us down here at Studio A. I've been Dave Thornton. Good night.